Hot.
Right, we can tone down a bit, and then I can talk to you and see if we can assist each other. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. Colleagues, I just spoke to two groups of students and explained, but I would love us to discuss this further. I want to explain the background, to what the background to the email that you've received, and I want to explain the implications of that whole process. Let me just make 2 or 3 statements up front, and then I will explain the background.
Prof, no time.
No, I can be quick. I'll be quick. The first point is, all students that are registered for qualifications in collaboration with Monash University in Australia will still get the same qualifications. Nothing will change. Let me explain further. All students registered up to now, plus all new students in the first semester next year, all of those students will have the same benefit, same conditions. Secondly, Monash University will remain involved from the beginning of next year for a further 4 years to create an opportunity for all students registered to complete their qualifications on the Monash basis and to get the same qualifications, the MSA as well as the second testimonial of Monash University. So nothing will change in terms of that. The 4-year option, we will monitor the studies and progress of each student in that process and make sure that we engage with you all the time to work towards completion, that your position is not compromised. So I want to give you that assurance. Nothing of that will change. The second thing is the exchange program. That continues as normal. Those people that want to apply to go to Australia or Malaysia or wherever, that continues. Nothing changes on that. If you want to register for an honors degree at the beginning of next year, it is still the same arrangement because that is part of the first semester registration. Right? The change will come as from the second semester students that register for the first time at that stage only. And we will communicate with those students the arrangements. The other question that was, what about me being registered for engineering, for example, or law, which is a location? Same arrangement. Teach out, everything supported during this process. The name of the institution will remain Monash South Africa until the first semester next year, so no change there.
And afterwards?
Right, colleagues, okay. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, we're sharing your excitement, but our colleague here has got time limitations.
You can leave.
Right. The other question was, are we now becoming something else? This campus continues with its normal functioning, its normal business. So you will still get all your services here. You will still get all the activities going on as normal on this campus.
What's the new name?
Right, colleagues. You're not giving me an opportunity. At this stage, colleagues, at this stage, the only thing that changed in terms of your registrations is that we have new owners only after the approval of the Competition Commission and the CHE and the DHET, and that will happen towards the end of the year. So now, there's ownership, but nothing changed in terms of your conditions.
Who was consulted? Who was staff notified? Was students notified? It's no wireless.
Colleagues,
Our fees decreasing.
can I just make some arrangement here? Colleagues, can I just make some arrangement here? Colleagues, can I make some arrangement? We now have a dedicated email address where you can put your questions on.
One thing, yeah.
Good afternoon. So what we will do is we will ask that we respect the process. We're going to ask for questions. So I need to note people and you need to come to the front, or if you are audible enough, then you can stand wherever you are, then we can answer any questions that you might have. But if you're going to speak together, it's not going to work. I see one hand there, that gentleman there. There's a lady here. There's another one here.
Let's do rounds.
I'll take your hand and your hand.
First
I'll
round.
allow those first questions. Do you want to come to the front, sir? Shh. Can we just manage it in that way so that all your questions are answered?
I would just like to know what the new name is after the name change. Because how's Manasseh, Australia's reputation going to carry over in the future when we're having jobs and looking for new work? How is the reputation going to hold in South Africa?
Can we take the whole round first? Prof, can we take the whole round first? Can we take the whole round first?
Colleagues, let me just explain a bit further. There are two questions here. It is in terms of the recognition of your qualifications, and it's in terms of the brand of the institution. Those are the two issues. The first issue is that the Department of Higher Education and Training has got a database, a full record of all qualifications being offered. All qualifications registered here are being reflected on that record. So even if in 20 years' time you want to come back and say, I studied at MSA in 2018, I completed this qualification, the information will be on there. So at no stage will you have a problem to get your qualification and the credibility of that confirmed. That's the first thing. The second issue that we have is that at the current moment, the MSA, the Monash South Africa, will continue on next year. After that, the idea is, and this is not finalized, remember the agreement was signed on Friday. The arrangement is at the moment that after that we will continue to use MSA, as we're currently doing in our marketing already. But we will keep you informed in terms of that. That process has not been finalized. It is very soon after signing, and that is a signing that happened between shareholders and new owner. So the discussion will unfold, and we will then again come back to you on the progress.
I wanted to ask, no, I'm like audible.
Take the mic.
Firstly, right, about school fees. I wanted to ask
Take the mic.
the change of dates.
Tulani. What's the question?
Right, colleagues, there was just a question here. If the study fees are going to remain the same.
Or go
That's the
down?
question.
Are they going to go down?
Now, all of us want to see that. But then, there's no planning to increase study fees abnormally or do anything about that. We're currently
Decrease.
in the process, looking at the budgets. So I cannot give you a final outcome of that, but there's no intention to radically change on study fees or anything.
But
So
there
please
is a
accept that as a
possibility.
principle.
But there is a possibility.
All right, I think let's do things differently. I cannot remember who wanted to ask a question, so
Let's
if
come
I
here.
noted
What's
you,
up?
can you come on stage so that you can use the mic as well, so that we don't repeat the questions for you. So to one.
Must stand here. Tulani. 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 They must stand here. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Did you hear the question? Can you please keep quiet so you can hear the question?
Okay, my question to you is, why did this happen and why did it happen so secretly?
Firstly, colleagues, this happened because Laureate International, after it went public, decided to reassess its total portfolio across the world. And it's in the process of selling off campuses. It's sold off in Europe, in Asia, in Morocco, South Africa. In other words, in quite a large number of countries, they're withdrawing from those countries. In the case of Monash University is currently busy with its strategy in terms of positioning itself further as a research institution and in terms of the ranking, in the international ranking, and Africa in this format is not a priority for them, and for that reason they decided to withdraw. But they will not withdraw without fulfilling their responsibility, and therefore my commitment that we will make good on all the agreements we
But
have.
didn't they say that the meeting will be set after? So, give me
Hi, sir. I wanted to ask in terms of then, if you're changing ownership, then what does that say about the majority of students that are not originally South African kids?
Colleagues, the legal entity, the institution with its accreditation, in other words, the legal entity doesn't change. So in other words, your contract remains, it's the same thing, that if a business sells to another owner, the business remains the same. So in other words, it doesn't influence the position of any student that's registered. Your contract is as valid and as legal as the day you signed for it. Nothing changes.
Hi. So you said that all students who enroll for honours next year will be fine. But what about the students thereafter? I'm second year and I have to do my honours after next year.
The qualifications will still exist, but as from the first semester, you will still be able to register under this dispensation. From the second semester, you will continue to register, but then under the new dispensation.
You have two different.
Come and see me in my office, I will explain.
Come and see it.
I'm going exactly. Dude, imagine I'm going to finish my foundation and I'm going to finish my
Afternoon, sir. Okay, so my question is, you say that people that register 2019 second semester, right, they start the new curriculum, or I don't know what it's called. Same curriculum, same qualification. Second semester 2019. Right, so they still have 4 years to do from the beginning of the year. So what happens if they fail within that 4 years? Does it change? Does it not change? Like, what's the process there?
Guarantee that you will pass. That's the first thing. The second thing is, I explained that from the beginning of the year, next year, we will start to manage all the cohorts of students so that we can identify those students that we expect to complete at the time. So if someone should fail a subject, we can pick up with an individual person and replan their curriculum. So that is the intention.
Thank you so much. I think what we were going to do now is we're going to stop here. And we stop here because tomorrow as well, the faculty forums organized where you can have these personal questions addressed as well. So we will definitely stop here. If you have any other questions, Prof is available for individual answering and all of that. So we will stop here. Thank you so much for coming.
I'm broadcasting live. I'm gonna end the broadcast. I'm broadcasting live. How is everyone just leaving?